Here's the thing. People don't miss what they take for granted. That's not how it works. They don't sit there, staring at the ceiling, suddenly overwhelmed with appreciation for what they always assumed would be there. No, people only truly start to miss something when they know, deep in their gut, that it's gone. Not temporarily. Not as some kind of emotional power move. Gone. For good. And right now, that's not how he feels about you. You might be picturing him in distress, replaying every conversation, mentally torturing himself over the moments that led to this. You think he's restless, pacing, unable to focus, glancing at his phone every 5 minutes, overwhelmed with regret. You imagine him thinking, "Why did she stop talking to me? What did I do? How do I fix this?" But let's be real, that's not happening. He's not in some emotional crisis. He's not suddenly realizing your worth. He's not spiraling. In fact, he's doing the exact opposite. He's fine. More than fine. He's comfortable. Relaxed. Maybe he's out with his friends. Maybe he's binging a show. Maybe he's scrolling through his phone like nothing happened. Because in his mind, nothing did. Your silence, it doesn't confuse him. He already knows why you stopped reaching out. And the kicker? He expected it. He saw this coming a mile away. Maybe not the exact moment, but the pattern? Yeah, he's seen it before. If not with you, then with someone else. This is a cycle for him. He reels you in, takes what he wants, drains your energy, then pushes you away when he's done. And when you finally step back, he doesn't panic. He doesn't chase. He just leans back, stretches, and waits. Because in his head, your silence isn't permanent. It's just a brief pause. He's convinced that, in time, you'll break. You'll check your phone, stare at his name, fight with yourself, and eventually, you'll give in. And that's why he's not haunted by your absence. That's why he's not suffering. Because to him, you're not really gone. 1. Why silence alone doesn't work. Here's the truth. Silence is only powerful when it creates fear. When someone truly believes they've lost access to you. When they sit there, heart racing, uncertain about what's coming next. But if he's been through this before, if he's played this exact game with other people, then your silence? It's not a threat. It's just another step in the same cycle. And that's what's keeping you stuck. Because you're sitting there believing he's struggling, believing he's questioning everything, believing that your absence is getting to him. Meanwhile, he's not even blinking. He's not feeling your absence. He's not missing you. He's just waiting. Because in his head, this isn't the end. It's just another round. And that's where you need to wake up. Because the moment you realize he's not panicking, the moment you see that he's not drowning in regret, that's the moment you take your power back. Because once you know that your silence alone isn't enough to shake him, you stop waiting for a reaction. You stop hoping for a sign of regret. You stop playing the game entirely. And when you do that, when you finally understand that silence by itself isn't enough, that's the move he never sees coming. 2. You were his candle in the dark room. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you were a candle in a pitch-black room. The moment you entered his life, you burned brightly. You were warmth. You were comfort. You were energy. You brought light into his space, filled it with something real, something undeniable. And what did he do? He sat next to you, basking in your glow. He soaked up the warmth. He enjoyed every bit of it, but he never really thought about what it meant. Never thought about the fact that you were the reason he wasn't sitting in the cold, in the dark. Because that's just how people like him operate. They don't appreciate the fire. They just assume it'll always be there. But one day, something shifted inside you. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe it was a moment of clarity. Maybe you just realized you were burning too much, too fast, for someone who wasn't giving anything back. So you dimmed. You thought, now he'll notice. Now he'll appreciate me. Now he'll feel the loss. You expected him to panic, to scramble, to do something, anything, to stop you from fading. But here's the problem. He didn't. He didn't jump up, terrified of losing the light. He didn't reach for a match, desperate to keep you burning. He just sat there, watching, unbothered, because this wasn't new to him. He's seen flames flicker before, and instead of worrying, instead of trying to fix it, he just shrugged. Because in his mind, this isn't a loss, it's just a temporary phase. He believes, without a doubt, that in time, you'll reignite yourself, that you'll relight that flame all on your own just for him. And when you do, he'll lean right back in. He'll stretch out his hands, take the warmth, enjoy the comfort, never once fearing that you might actually burn out and leave him in the dark. Because to him, you won't. You never do. And that's why he's sitting there, calm as ever. That's why your silence isn't shaking him the way you want it to. 3. The story that proves it all. I once read a story about a woman who went silent on a toxic ex, convinced it would make him feel her loss. She blocked him, ignored him, stood firm in her silence. Weeks passed. Nothing. Months passed. Still nothing. And then, she cracked. She told herself it was just a small text. Nothing too serious. Nothing too emotional. Just a simple casual, "Hey, how have you been?" And his response, "I was wondering how long it would take you. Not, I missed you. Not, I regret everything. Not even I'm sorry. Just confirmation. Confirmation that he already knew she'd come back. That he never took her silence seriously. That he was never worried." And in that moment, she woke up because she realized he was never afraid of losing her. He was just waiting for her to prove him right. And once she understood that, she changed everything. She didn't just disappear, she moved on. She built a life where he wasn't even a thought in her mind. And when he finally reached out months later, she gave him nothing. And that's when he finally felt it. Because when someone expects you to come back, and you don't, that's when they realize what they've lost. Here is the only way to make him feel it. Stop being predictable. Stop playing a game he already knows. Silence alone isn't enough. So say this out loud, "I am done waiting." And then, mean it.